Cloudcast Media. Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg with Cloudcast Media, and just absolutely so pleased to have. It's been a while since I've had this group on from Media Arts Center San Diego and talking about the San Diego Latino Film Festival. Joining us is Kristian Perez-Franco, exhibition senior manager. How long have you been involved with this group?
It's going to be 8 years now.
Does it seem like it's been 8 minutes or 8 decades or both?
I'm going to say decades.
Okay. I know there's a lot of work going on. Joined by a director of one of the films that's going to be in the festival, and that is Nicole Valencia, excuse me, thank you. And Farewell, is that your film?
That is correct.
Okay, so if you don't mind, Kristian, I'm going to get right into the film, if that's okay. And then we'll talk about the festival and how do you go and all that business. How long have you been interested in directing films?
Well, my filmmaking or watching films was always a way that my family and I used to bond growing up.
Right.
And I always loved reading and literature, and I studied literature in undergrad. But I just was always continually drawn to films. I really got into like art house stuff when I was in college, and just that passion just always grew. And so finally, I started shooting stills because I had heard that Stanley Kubrick started out as a photographer. So I was like, well, maybe I can make that jump eventually. But yeah, in a way, it's been kind of like a weird, lifelong thing that was bubbling under the surface. And then finally, when I discovered photography, and I thought, okay, I think I could actually do this.
That's phenomenal. Okay, so what Stanley Kubrick film is your favorite?
Oof, probably Barry Lyndon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, very good. Barry Lyndon.
Love a good period piece.
Very, very, very good. Seen Clockwork Orange?
I've only seen parts of it, but the stills, I know. I've heard it's really violent. I know.
It's out there. It is out there.
It's on my list for sure.
It is on your list for sure.
Yeah.
No, that is so cool. We're going to get back to Farewell and
Absolutely.
How you got into all that stuff.
Yeah.
Talk about the film festival. 31 years, correct?
31.
Unbelievable. And just been one of the top film festivals in the nation, I will say that. Shout out to Ethan Ventillo. I'd be remiss if I didn't say hi to Ethan. It's been a while to see him. He is probably drinking out of a fire hose right now. Is that correct?
No, I think he's okay this year.
Is it? He's okay this year over there.
Yes.
Talk about the film festival. When does it take place? How many films and all that business?
Of course, yeah. So the film festival is March 14th through the 24th at AMC Mission Valley, as well as the Digital Gym Cinema in downtown. We've got over 150 films this year, films from all over the world, an incredible selection thanks to our new artistic director, Maria. Please come see these films. Absolutely incredible.
So it goes from March 14th to the 24th, right?
Correct.
So on March 25, are you gearing up for the 32nd annual?
Absolutely.
That's right, exactly. We've been fortunate enough to have some of the great folks that are involved, and we have wonderful film festivals here in the Asian Film Festival, to say the least, International Film Festival. I love having you guys on. We can talk about it all the time. And I'll start with you on this, Kristian, and then you can add your personal feelings about it. The beauty of what you guys do, for 75,000 different reasons, is it shows how, actually cultures should be getting along, and talks about empathy and, all that business. Talk about how important that is to film making and film festivals.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's a great observation. I think that, especially now, everything happening in the world, it's really a tool connecting people. Going to the cinema, experiencing this in that setting is absolutely important. And we're fighting against that every day because of the way that we all consume films now, but streaming, right? So that experience is so important for people to come together and to have that communal experience.
Yeah, you're spot on this, and there's nothing like seeing films with someone sitting next to you or throngs sitting next to you in that aspect of it, because just the energy, the vibe and all that with it. It's pretty much like seeing plays. There's nothing wrong seeing about a play, in a DVD or whatever, but live theater is something. And in essence, this is live film, because you're next to people on that. So I think that's spot on. So when you did Farewell, give us a little background on what it is.
Sure. So Farewell is a short film. It's about a troubled young actress who she stumbles upon this photo exhibition of which she is mysteriously the main subject. So
unbeknownst to her, she learns about this through a flyer that she receives in the mail, and she sees her face plastered over it, and she's like, what is going on? So she shows up at the exhibition, and then, the plot continues. But yeah, this film came to me through a close friend who's the producer. His name is Javier Augusto Núñez. And the lead actress, who's Martina Medina Mezcua, who's also the executive producer. So basically, I mentioned that I shoot stills as well. That's right. And Javi had come to me and he was like, hey, we're doing this short. We've got some money. It's awesome. There's this photo element. Do you want to shoot the stills for the exhibition? I'm like, oh my God, yes, of course. I would love to. And then he got really busy because he's actually an MFA candidate at SDSU in their film program. And so he was like, actually, the actress is wanting a female filmmaker. And how do you feel about directing this? And I was like, yes, absolutely. I had just directed my first short. So this was coming on shortly after that. And yeah, it was an amazing experience just having this kind of multifaceted, multimedia element to it. And we're actually going to be showing the stills that I shot and printed on film and, did darkroom work with them and stuff. So we're going to be showing those at the Film Hub, throughout the whole festival. So that's really exciting too. And I kind of just wanted to touch on something that you asked about, yes. Kristian, watching films and them kind of being this kind of healing thing. This film, it's kind of about family trauma. And I feel like within the canon of Latin American stories that are told in film, it's a lot of violence, and it's a lot of migration stories and separation and drugs and all this stuff. And one thing I realized about this film that I hadn't realized, but as I've been talking about it, is that this film is about healing family separation. But the separation is because of some difficulties that the family members have done to each other. And so the lead actress kind of puts some boundaries in between some people in the family. And I thought that was kind of interesting because you don't usually see that kind of behavior in Latin American families, putting boundaries on people who are kind of unwell. Right. And it's about the healing of this relationship. And I don't know, I just feel very lucky to be able to start kind of talking about that kind of intergenerational healing. And yeah. Well, just imagine, okay, so you got this in Farewell, and there are boundaries, which is odd, or not as common. Geez, I wonder if we really did this in real world, right? And actually, we said, nope, we're not going any further than this. And that's not taking away people's free speech. I'm a former journalist, so I get a little tired when someone wants to hide behind free speech all the time.
Sure.
Okay? The things you shouldn't be doing, I don't care if it's free speech or not in this area of it or whatever. And I think that's, that's great. What has been the reaction to, people have seen this already, right?
Yeah, Kristian and I were actually just discussing it because, of course, as one of the programmers and festival leads, Kristian has seen it. And apparently you were very moved, which I thought was really cool.
And what were we moved by?
Seeing that healing on screen. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say anything.
Yeah, we're trying not to give anything away.
Come see the film on the big screen, but that's right. It is a very emotional story.
Yeah, no, we don't want to do anything here. Don't listen. Now we're going to tell you the whole
no
story.
Spoilers yet.
No spoiler alert on this. We are chatting with Kristian Perez-Franco. He is the exhibition senior manager for the Media Arts Center that puts on the San Diego Latino Film Festival, now on its 31st year, March 14th through the 24th, joined by the director of one of the films, Farewell, Nicole Valencia. I'm Drew Schlosberg, and you're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest-running community podcast, now in our 18th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, doing great things for San Diego and San Diegans for more than 6 decades on this. So tickets are on sale now, of course, right?
That's
Kristian?
correct.
Online, just go online and grab them. Okay, very good. And will this thing sell out?
Absolutely. Our shorts programs always sell out.
I know they do.
There's going to be some features with lots of filmmakers, directors, actors, producers coming in. Please get your tickets, stlatinofilm.com.
Right, exactly. Are there events that are around it? Is there a red carpet event? Is there
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we have our opening night press conference, which is on March 14th. Beyond that, we have live music throughout the festival on the Sonido Latino stage. Sabor Latino returns, our food, beer, and spirits festival. And our award ceremony, our gala, everything.
Right. So it starts on the 14th, ends on the 24th. And then can you buy a ticket for all of the films?
Yeah, our full schedule is online. You can buy tickets for individual films, but you can also buy a festival pass if you just want all access. Those are available as well.
Do a lot of people do that and just get like film overload?
Oh, yeah. There's one for just films, and there's one for films and parties.
Oh, is that right? Okay, very, very good on that. Are you going to be going to some of these parties, you think?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like I said, last year was my first time at the festival. It was a little bit, as a filmmaker, it was kind of a lot because I just didn't know what to expect. But now this year, I'm attending everything. I'll be at every party, at every award show.
Good for you.
Yeah. And I don't know if I mentioned, but the film Farewell will be screening as part of the Frontera Filmmakers Showcase. And so we have 2 screening dates. The first is March 18th and the second is March 20th. So please definitely come.
No, that's right. So how many of the stars come out for these events, Kristian?
Oh, so many. I mean, we have just for the features alone, we have 50 confirmed guests at the moment. Huge talent. Our tribute this year is Cheech Marin.
Nice.
Who I'm sure you're familiar with.
That's awesome.
Of course, so he'll be here in attendance.
Yeah, no, that's terrific. I know one year you had Edward Olmos was on, as a probably even more than 1 year in this aspect of it. So you certainly bring out the best of the best and so forth. Any famous directors like Nicole going to be there?
Absolutely, Nicole will be there.
I'll be there.
No, that sounds good. When we come back from break, we'll talk more about the film festival. And I know you're not supposed to have favorites, but maybe there are some favorites you want to talk about, and you too, Nicole. And then, I think I remember you used to ask Ethan this question a lot. Do you work with the schools? Do the schools get to come? From one year to the other, do you go into the classrooms and all that business? We think it's what a great opportunity for kids to actually find their voice and so forth. So let's talk about that when we come back from break. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Very good. We're with Kristian Perez-Franco, Exhibition Senior Manager for Media Arts Center. They put on the 31st annual San Diego Latino Film Festival. We have actually in our midst the director of one of the films, Nicole Valencia. The film is Farewell. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. We will be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest-running community podcast. We're now in our 18th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union in this very cool Mission Fed studio in Scripps Ranch at Mission Fed. We're in 60 years of doing great things in the community. We're honored to be chatting with our friends from the Media Arts Center, who put on the 31st Annual San Diego Latino Film Festival. Joining us is Kristian Perez-Franco, Exhibitions Senior Manager and a Director of one of the films that will be showcased. The film is called Farewell, and the director is Nicole Valencia. So, Kristian, there's 150 films that are going to be in here, right?
Yes.
Which means you probably judge 150,000 films. How many films, literally, when it starts, do you have to narrow down to 150?
Yeah, so our call, just in the call for entries alone, we had almost 700 submissions.
Oh my goodness!
And that doesn't include the features that we, get from distributors. So
right, so 700, and you start the process when I was sort of teasing about the next day.
Yeah, I mean, we started in the summer of 2023.
Yeah,
we're thinking maybe a little bit earlier.
Yeah, right. Now that's a lot of stuff to look at and so forth. And who serves as your judges?
We have a great selection committee, but of course, Maria, our artistic director, is involved, and professors, PhDs.
Will you have former directors, or not former, current directors?
Yeah, we also have filmmakers.
So does that mean Nicole might be able to be a judge next year?
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, well, listen, I think that's good. You have any favorites for this year?
I do, yeah. I highly recommend a film called Lost in the Night. We'll have the director here, incredible filmmaker Amat Escalante.
And what's it about? Without spoiler alerting it, okay? Can you give us the 80,000-foot version? That's about a person. Okay, very good.
Yes.
I certainly understand. You don't want to sit there and talk too much about it. What did you like about this film? Talking in generalities.
Well, I should say that we've had Amat's films for many years now.
Yeah.
And he's become this incredibly acclaimed filmmaker. His last film I think we had was called La Llorona, and that was juxtaposed, or the folklore of that was in juxtaposition with sort of the political climate happening in Mexico at the time. So with this new film, always a pleasure to have him and see him grow as an artist.
Right.
But now to also have him here in person at the festival. So it's huge, and I highly recommend. That's going to be second half of the film festival. So
is that right? Okay.
Lost in the Night, yeah.
Okay, Lost in the Night. Okay, so that's, is there a specific day for it?
There is.
And they can go to the website and find all
they can find it on SDLatinoFilm.com.
Yeah, all the times and all that business as well on that. And Nicole, while Kristian's looking up for that, you have any favorites?
Well,
besides Farewell?
Yeah, besides Farewell. Well, I'm really excited to check out the rest of the Frontera filmmakers from the short showcase. I'll definitely be at that shorts block. And then there's a couple features, and this is really exciting for me because I'm born in LA, but I grew up in Tijuana, lived my whole life in Tijuana. So being able to kind of see the artistic output of this region is super interesting. There's also the Viva Mujeres showcase, which is emerging filmmakers who are women. And there's a lot of really exciting titles there that I'm probably going to be going to a film every night, to be honest.
Well, I think that's fantastic. Did you find that the film, Kristian?
I did, yeah. So the first showing's on March 19th. That at 7:15.
Okay.
That's where the director will be. And there's a second screening if you don't catch that one on the 22nd.
Right. And again, you mentioned there's a bunch of events that are circling around this and on the website. I'm sure those are a separate ticket, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, in that area. That's great. Talk about your work with the schools, which I know has always been very important with this festival.
Absolutely. So during the festival, we have a program called Tu Cine, where a lot of the different school districts that we're working with and connected to can come and experience these films. They can bring their students to experience these films. And they have, and these are morning screenings. So they come in, they bus these kids in, they get to see these films before everybody else. And then they have these conversations with the filmmakers. Right.
Now, do you offer any courses with these students and, how to become a film maker? And one of the beauties of, film, and it's one of the passions I have, one of the organizations I work with is called Classroom of the Future Foundation. We just put on our 7th annual summit yesterday, and we had a certain session on filmmaking from some kids from the school, the Encinitas Union School District, that do their own films, and so forth on it. And what I love about that topic is there are so many different careers when it comes to film, Do they learn about that at all when they visit you folks?
Absolutely. I mean, just the Media Arts Center alone has so many workshops outside of the festival. There's our long-running youth media and tech camps, our teen producers project, WDI, which is Workforce Development Initiative. All these programs that are happening throughout San Diego, not just in our building alone, are all incredible workshops that teach youth to young adults how to make films in different roles.
Yeah, and to that point, Nicole, there's many different roles. There's a still photographer expert like you. There's a director. There's an actor, actress, set design. They're accountants. They're lawyers. They're marketers. You name it. This is a great career to get into, is it not?
Absolutely. As y'all were talking about that, it's like so important to educate people, especially people in like underrepresented or underserved communities about the employment opportunities, because the truth is like filmmaking, I love filmmaking, but filmmaking is such an exciting art form because it really does combine all of the art forms. You've also got music, sound design, color grading, editing, accounting, so many people. It's kind of like this traveling circus of people just making stories that we need to survive. Honestly, that's why streaming is so big. It's because we really need these stories, but there's also a lot of opportunities for people to do something that they might find interesting. So yeah, I think that's really, really cool that program exists.
Well, you hit something that is near and dear to our hearts at Cloudcast Media. My business partner and the founder and CEO of Cloudcast Media, Charles Parisi, it's all about storytelling. You can't talk enough about storytelling. You can't tell enough stories. 365, 724 decades in this, and that's exactly where it is. We need this more than any, at least in my lifetime, where things are going on in this crazy world, in this aspect of it. And just giving people that opportunity to hear voices that have, never been heard before. And this is what this field does. I'm preaching to the congregation, obviously, about this, but this is why it's so important. If you were to give some advice, I'll start with you on this, Nicole, then we'll shift over to Kristian. For somebody who thinks about getting involved in filmmaking, whether it's a still photographer or a director, what advice would you give them?
Yeah, great question. Well, especially coming from my background, I was pre-med for 2 years, and then I decided to study literature. My parents were not into it. That being said, don't allow any expectations to hold you back. If you have an interest, if there is a small budding dream in your heart that burns bright at night when no one's listening or looking, pursue that, even if it's just to see what happens, because maybe you think you might want to direct, but then it turns out you really, really like costume design. I don't know, but I think it's important to follow those curiosities because we don't know where they'll take us. They might, like I said, in the beginning, I never thought I would want to be a film director. I just liked reading a ton, And so don't let any expectations or fears hold you back. And second, just do it, especially as a female filmmaker, a lot of women, I think, and women are changing now. They're adopting a lot of agency, but don't wait for someone to give you permission or to give you your quote unquote place. You just go out there and do it, make it happen, take it, and just keep practicing because only by doing something a bunch will you get good at it. So just go do it.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. It's sort of been a theme of many of our interviews on today's show as well. Kristian, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, bouncing off of that, I think that's expertly said. But just as you're exploring your creative self, I think always just do it your way.
It's funny. We had an assignment. That's you guys billion years ago. I'm sure your grandparents weren't even born when I was around. But we had an opportunity to make up an assignment I did not quite do in community college. So I asked the teacher, can I make a short film that sort of ties into this theme? She goes, seriously, you'd rather do that than just redo the paper? Yeah, because we're going to have some fun with it. So mind you, I'm back in the day where you're gluing stuff together. It's the old 8mm film. This is, a billion years ago. I had more fun putting this together with my friends. And you look at it and you go, are you guys mentally ill? What are you doing? But it was a absolute blast. I remember that experience more than anything. So I guess I was a filmmaker for one film. For
Hey.
God's sake,
That's wonderful.
Well, it was. I'll never forget it. And the people that my friend, we had so many cuts because we were laughing so hard, and we just couldn't get through the doggone film, because we were just doing these things. I agree with you 100%, Nicole and Kristian. This is a great opportunity for students to see the things that are in this beautiful field on that. I'll start with you on Nicole, and then go over to Kristian. Any final comments?
Well, just, a caveat disclaimer on what I said. My parents are very supportive now. Once I didn't give up, they were kind of like, well, I guess this is what she's doing. So we support her, and they're really into it. Yeah, they're into it.
Yeah.
Just come to the festival. I really think that San Diego has a small scene, but it exists, and this festival is actually really big. I would akin it to maybe like the South by Southwest of Latin American film festivals. It's very multifaceted, and come out and be a part of the community.
No, if it wasn't great, it wouldn't be doing this for 31 years. And certainly it's got a great vibe throughout this whole community in the region for that amount. Any final words, Kristian?
Of course, come see the films, but beyond the films, we have live music, we have art exhibitions, we have food, all that encompasses all the various cultures in Latin America.
Yeah, well, you will have fun. We'll guarantee you that, March 14th to the 24th. To go to the Media Arts Center website or San Diego Latino Film Festival. Wishing you nothing but great success. Enjoy all of those films, and wherever your travels take you. Nicole, when I see you accepting an Academy Award up at There You Go, I'll expect you to invite Charles and myself to be in attendance on this, okay? And say yes, and you can even bring us on stage, and we can share the Oscar with you.
Love to.
Sounds good.
Again, wishing you nothing but great success again, March 14th to 24th, San Diego Latino Film Festival. I'm Drew Schlosberg. Listen to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. We hope you enjoyed the program.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.